Join me today for another BattleTech Bits segment, this time on Bug Mechs. This is the Geek Cabal channel. My name is Bobbie, and today we're going to be talking about BattleTech, some little bits. Today, the Bug Mechs. Now, you're probably, some of you obviously who've watched the channel or consume other BattleTech content, probably already know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. But for those of you who are newer to the game or the fiction or however you're coming about it, you may have either not heard the term before, or you've heard it and you've kind of wondered, what the hell are they talking about? So this is a term that is used both by the fandom and in fiction. And so it refers to a specific set of mechs that are predominantly light mechs. I think they might all be light mechs. And the general idea is that they are, they're all small. They are relatively weak and cheap. They're also very widely available, nearing the point of being ubiquitous across the inner sphere. So, one thing to note that the fiction, or rather, I guess probably the source books, but it could be in the fiction. The canon, the fluff, sorry, of the game. Very briefly, if those of you don't know, fluff is like the background, the lore, etc. Crunch is the rules. Okay, if you ever heard those two terms and don't know what they mean. So according to the fluff, the light mechs are probably the most abundantly available mechs. They take less time to produce, they're cheaper, and so on and so on. Whereas like the higher end, even though if you look at a lot of games, people want to smash the assault mechs against each other, it's because they're laden with weapons and armor. So, but the lighter end is the more common throughout the inner sphere. Couldn't tell you about the clans for sure, but in the inner sphere anyway. So traditionally, it's the locust, the stinger, and the wasp. Now, you can probably now see why they're called bug mechs, because a locust is a bug, a stinger like on a wasp, and a wasp. You know, these are what people would consider bugs. So that's why they have the moniker Bug Mechs. And then we have some others that are usually lumped in, but these can be a little bit harder to find. They're not quite as widespread. Some are possibly even extinct. That would be like the flea, the firefly, the hornet, the spider, and the tarantula. And then there are others that would probably arguably be considered bug mechs, but for some reason aren't. So, but anyway, these the main three. One other reason I want to mention them here in this, what's probably going to end up being a fairly short video, is that there's also the slight possibility, because this was apparently mentioned, and I read this in a transcript on the Catalyst forums. I don't remember what the context of the conversation was, unfortunately, but in the transcript it mentioned that this would be Catalyst, is considering a bug box set, which I think the theoretical composition is it would be 3 lances, and it'd be a lance of each of the mechs. So a lance of locusts, a lance of stingers, a lance of wasps. And this would be similar to the whole urban mech thing, only this is less because of the memes and more because of, like, if you really want to bulk out your military with the low grade stuff, or if you want them to be mercenaries or pirates or local militia, because those forces tend to favor lots of cheaper units versus the fewer of the high-end units, and they favor swarm tactics, similar to the Scorpion light tank. There's I wish I could remember the specifics off the top of my head. This is why I should write these things, which why I should really think these videos through and write them down. But there was at least one instance of I don't remember if it's a pirate or some ne'er-do-well type who essentially just got a whole lot of scorpion tanks, and when the folks who were come calling decided to land, he amassed the scorpion tanks to fight them. And this has since been used. This has been recreated for like training missions, and it's called the Scorpion Trap, the Scorpion Nests. It wasn't. I don't think it's the Scorpion Jar. That's the name of a book from the WizKids era. But yeah, so the idea is to prove that, you know, yeah, a scorpion tank might not be a problem, but massed, I mean, they are armed with autocannons, so, you know, they can have an impact. And also that, you know, battles for the game might be, like, attempted to be somewhat even, but if the battles were actual battles, just like in real life, if you found yourself in a fair fight, you didn't plan accordingly. So, and that would be true in BattleTech every bit as true as it is here in the real world. So yeah, so those are the Bug Mechs. I personally hope that they do make that set, by the way, because I have a number of Stingers and Wasps because I bought the sets they were in and sold the heavier mechs, the plastic ones. But the Locust, unless I'm mistaken, is mainly in the Game of Armored Combat box set, which, even though thanks to sales online and at Gen Con, and I'm buying just the mechs, I think I ultimately have like 6 sets of those mechs. Like, I would like some more of just the Locusts. And again, I'm going to paint them up as, you know, like militia, or probably going to flesh out some of the mercenary units I've started painting up, because I've got things at the higher end, but I need, you know, bulk at the lower end. So anyway, that was just a little thing that I wanted to talk to you folks about. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Have you ever heard of these before in BattleTech? Did I miss any? I'd like to believe not, because I actually did take some notes on the ones that qualify, because I can't remember them all that well sometimes. But yeah, like I said, these are the, you know, let me know down in the comments what you think. You're the type of person that likes to play scenarios that are not balanced by battle value or points in Alpha Strike. So you come up with scenarios where it's, you know, a couple heavy mechs versus a whole crap load of light mechs or something. And if you ever played any games like that, how did it turn out? You know, did the multiple shots allow for more crits and take your mechs out easier, or did the armor hold and you just steamrolled the light mechs? You know. Let me know, because in one of my, there at Gen Con, I managed to, I think it's in the first round or second round, I managed to headshot another mech and take it out, and that was that. And that instantly gave our side a tactical advantage by giving us tactical flexibility, because we were evenly matched. I think our mechs were even the same mechs. So once one was gone on the enemy side, we pretty well instantly had an advantage. And yeah, so that would definitely happen, I think, in that kind of scenario, especially if you got massed fire, because if one target's down, now you can focus more on the targets that remain, which in the rules of the game are probably going to increase your odds of getting a critical hit, just because of the sheer number of hits that are going to be occurring. Very similar to the Star Wars miniatures game that Wizards of the Coast used to produce. You'd have characters that could attack multiple times per round. Well, on a D20, like, the more times you roll it, the greater the odds are that you're eventually going to hit that 20. Or if they've got someone that has an expanded critical range, it could dip down to like 19 or 18, and you're rolling 3 and 4 times as opposed to just the once. Like, the number of critical hits statistically is going to increase. That's why people, I want to say it's missiles that they like, because they're basically crit seeking, because your hit table, they're going all over the place. So yeah, anyway, I could have misremembering on that part. Like I said, I know a lot more about the lore than I do the rules of the game. I've really got to play some more games. I've got to hook up with Chad and our commenter Charbroil Beefcake, because he's close by, and get a game set up here. But yeah, anyway, Like I said, let me know what you think down in the comments. You want to hear more stuff like this? Stuff about other random BattleTech tidbits? Is there any particular topic you want me to try to cover? You know, whatever. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Liking, no, sorry, not liking, sharing and commenting are the things that help. I mean, liking helps probably, but sharing and commenting definitely help. And we appreciate all of you that do that. And yeah, that's about all I got for this one, folks. So just remember, no guts, no galaxy.